Welcome to Simply Happy Conversations, a podcast that teaches you how to create a clutter-free, functional and simply happy life. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser who supports families with practical steps to simplify their lives and create a more organised home. I'm passionate about supporting neurodivergent families and individuals like myself. What new habit are you planning to adopt in 2025? The motivation and intention to start a new habit at the beginning of a new year is really high. Whether it's exercising regularly, journaling, practicing mindfulness, or getting organised, starting small is the best strategy to maintain a new habit. I'll be sharing 3 habits that have been most powerful and helped me to live intentionally and more organised. Let's jump into this Simply Happy conversation. Welcome to the new year, 2025. This is a really great time for reflection, goal setting, and starting new habits. And the reason it's such a great time to start new habits is generally we're maybe on holidays. So you're able to allocate time really effectively if you've got a little bit of a break. It also allows you to assess what works and doesn't. And this adaptability makes you modify your habits as you need throughout the year so they remain more effective and also reliant. So what are your current organizational habits and what areas would you like to improve? Intentional living is a powerful framework for organizing your life as it encourages mindfulness and purpose in every aspect of your life. You identify what truly matters to you, and this will help you to prioritize what deserves your time and also your space. It will also simplify your decision making. When you're faced with a choice, you can just refer back to your values and your goals, and this will help eliminate that distractions and keep you focused on what truly matters. There are going to be obstacles that are going to get in your way of developing a new habit, and identifying these common challenges before they occur is going to help you prep for what you can do to try and avoid them. Usually, the things that I find that are obstacles are time, money, energy, procrastination, and perfectionism. So being patient with yourself and also thinking about ways around these challenges is going to better prepare yourself. One of the best strategies I've found for myself and I've seen with clients is habit stacking. This is when you add a new habit to something you already do. For example, it could be every time you pass through your front door, getting in your car, turning on the kettle, brushing your teeth, charging your phone, putting on your watch, putting on shoes. Anything that you already do on a regular basis, you then add the new habit to. This means it's easy for you to remember because you're already doing one of those habits and you're now just adding something new onto something you already do. The first habit that I want to share with you that has made a difference in my life is a gratitude reflection. I reflect on 3 things that I'm grateful for from the last week. And I do this on a Sunday when I am filling in my calendar for the week. I have that habit of already doing my calendar every Sunday, so I know what I'm preparing for the week. And therefore, I've just added that extra part. And there's also a trigger in my planner asking me to write them down. At the end of the day, I also try to think of one thing that I've learned from that day when I plug my phone in. I do that every night before I go to bed and set my alarm for the morning. And that is when I do that gratitude reflection also. Doing a gratitude reflection helps to increase the positive emotion and the vibration so that you attract more positivity. This mindset has also helped to foster appreciation and has helped to motivate me to maintain an organized and intentional lifestyle. Habit 2 that I have developed over the years that also helps me stay organized and on track is a weekly calendar planning. Now, I do this every Sunday. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the afternoon, but every Sunday I will sit down and do this. I add events, birthdays, appointments to our digital as well as our physical calendar, which is a whiteboard, and it's the command center where other things are for everybody to have a look at. I find by doing the weekly calendar planning, it means that everyone knows where to look to learn what's on. It also means that it's not just left up to my brain to remember, because my brain definitely couldn't remember things day to day. It allows my brain, though, then to create ideas and not store all the to-do lists and the events that are coming up, which is really impossible for my brain to do anyway. And it also eliminates decision making. It also helps to limit decision making because things are planned ahead of time. Another part of my weekly calendar planning is I make a list of all the small tasks for the week. I name my to-do list in a positive way. It's called to-choose list. I've actually recorded an episode about to-do lists, and it's episode 17 if you want to go all the way back to the start. And it's based on David Allen's concept of creating lists with context. So these are like tags about where you will do the task. The ones that I've been using that I find really useful are phone, which is when I'm going to be text messaging, calling people, laptop, which is when I'm going to be emailing or purchasing things, errands, which is when I'm in the car and driving around, and home is when I'm going to be at home doing those particular tasks. So once I've written down all of my things that I'd like to do on my to-choose list that week, I will then work out where I'm going to be doing them, and then also looking at my week and working out where that would fit in best to be able to do it. It means that I stay focused and also save time. It's best to only add 3 tasks for each day. And even thinking about that, there's going to be days where you don't have enough time, you don't have enough energy to be able to even do those 3 things. So maximum of 3 things. And think about delegating to other people in your family, especially if you feel like you are taking on too much. Questions that I ask myself that help me to also plan out my week is, does this need to get done today? Is it important? And is it urgent? Or is it going to help me to achieve my priorities this week? I also write down 3 things that are my priorities this week. And so is this going to help me move towards those priorities? And then could this be completed by someone else? I write down the 3 things the night before as well, which is really important because your brain starts to get to work on that during the night and will start to segment the parts of the tasks that you need to do. I definitely find when I wake up in the morning and I'm doing work early in the morning, I'm straight into it. There's no thinking needed because my brain has already thought through all of the process that needs to be done. Another part that's really important to our planning is on a Sunday night is we have a family meeting. So it's just during dinner time or following on after dinner. It's a reflection on the jobs that needed doing and have been done this week in the home. We also share the week ahead and the events that are going on. And that's a great chance then to work out, someone needs picking up from sport. Someone else needs to be taken to work at this time, and all the things that are crossing over that maybe I've not picked up when I've put on the planner or on the whiteboard. It also means that we can also look at things that we'd like to achieve this week and what went well from the week before. So just bringing that gratitude practice with the whole family. And one of the other questions which has really helped is something you want to do this week. This has really allowed my kids to express things that they might want to do that week or for the weekend so we could plan ahead. Habit 3 is decluttering regularly and creating homes. And the benefits of regularly decluttering is it reduces stress because clutter increases your cortisol levels, which makes you feel more stressed. It improves focus and productivity. It also enhances creativity because there are fewer distractions. Better time management because you're not looking for things. You know exactly where it is. If it has a home, you go there, you get it, and you're able to put it back. And it means you can save money because you're not wasting money on buying lost items and replacing things. This is one that I hear a lot from clients when I'm working with them. I've been looking for that item for so long and I've just gone and replaced it. And so now they've got 2 of that particular item. Some of my favorite tips for effective decluttering is to look at your values. And this is going to help you when you're decluttering. It's going to help you to look at that particular item and then question whether it aligns with your goals and brings you joy. If it doesn't serve a purpose or contribute positively to your life, you could then consider letting it go. Another effective way of decluttering is the 1 in, 1 out rule. I use this mainly with clothing. So if I'm replacing an item that's maybe worn and looking a little bit tired and old, that will then be let go to make way for the new piece of clothing. I don't usually keep it Planning into your calendar seasonally when you're going to declutter. This is great for clothes when you're, say, changing over summer to winter, or the opposite, coming out of winter and moving into summer. And you can then go through your wardrobe and look at what you've worn, what you maybe haven't worn, and maybe what you can let go of. Another really great time is before Christmas and birthdays, when generally you're going to get an influx of items into your home. This is a really great time with younger kids to work on what don't we need anymore, what have we grown out of, and what could somebody else benefit from. The Toss app is another one to consider. It provides an idea for you to declutter a place in your home, an item, and it changes every day. And it even gives you the chance to write down how many things you let go of. So if you need that gamification, maybe you're neurodivergent and you want that bit of dopamine hit, that might be a great app to look at. Another one is $20 in 20 minutes. That is the amount and time that I've come up with myself. You might have $50 in an hour, depending on where you live and the availability of items near you. Whereas for me, I've got shops 20 minutes from my home. So if I needed to purchase something that I don't have and it's going to cost me less than $20, then there is no point in me keeping something that I may use one day. It's thinking about the real estate of my home. I'm paying for that item to stay here and live that I might use one day in 5 or 10 years' time. It's also thinking about, is there someone I could borrow that item from, or is there a second-hand shop? Another effective way for decluttering is using containers or shelving as boundaries. For example, we have 2 shelves I've allocated for dress-ups now. If they don't fit on that shelf, then it needs to be let go. And that is the only space that we've allocated now for dress-ups. Also, we have 1 box for all of our Christmas decorations. If we want to purchase new ones, then we'll have to let go of some of the old ones. That is the boundary that I've allocated to keep the decorations under control. Also, things like shelves for books and toys are another great way of creating that boundary. Maybe it's even drawers in your wardrobe to help you with managing the amount of clothing you have. The other habit around organizing that's really important is designating a space for items. If it doesn't have a home, that is when things will pile up, say on your kitchen bench or on a table, because it doesn't have a home and no one's sure where to put it. Things that I find that will build up on counters or on benches are things like batteries, barbecue tools, sewing items, insect sprays, gardening tools, stationery, essential oils, command hooks, the ones that you can put on the wall and then remove, appliances, Christmas decorations, travel items. All these items maybe aren't used on a regular basis, so there hasn't been a spot, or maybe there's only a few things of those in your home and there's just not been a spot allocated for them. So looking at a place that they can go means that everyone can find it, but then also put it away. Otherwise, we end up with doom piles of items without a home. And you're probably saying, how do I decide where the home is? For example, for say insect sprays, I say go with your first instinct. If that's maybe the laundry, that would be mine, put it there. If it needs to be out of reach, maybe it's in a garage. Think about your first instinct and about efficiency and place the item there. Your home needs to reflect your intentions and your value. So this might mean creating a nice, peaceful reading area, or it might be a productive workspace, or maybe it's a family gathering area for connection, which may have games and books and things you like to do together. Don't forget to practice gratitude for what you have and the organization you've achieved. By integrating intentional living into your organizing framework, you create a more meaningful, fulfilling, and organized life that aligns with your true self. It's about making conscious choices that resonate with who you are, your family, and what you want to be. So just to recap on the 3 different habits that I'm sharing to help you be more organized and intentional living. 1 was gratitude and expressing gratitude at some part of your day or week. Number 2 was planning your week. And number 3 was decluttering regularly and making sure everything has a designated space for it to live. Thanks for joining me for today's solo episode about the new habits for organizing success. I'd love for you to share with me on Instagram Instagram or Facebook at Simply Happy Organisation, or in a review of the podcast, the new habit for 2025 you'd like to start. Thanks for listening to Simply Happy Conversations. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Simply Happy conversation. If you find yourself wasting precious time searching for misplaced items and wishing for a more organised life, then you need my 5-minute declutter ebook, the ultimate guide to quick and easy organising solutions for a clutter-free and happy home. Forget about spending months KonMariing your house. These fun solutions are designed to give you immediate results in under 5 minutes. Head over to Simply Happy in the resource section and download your free copy and start seeing results in minutes. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.